Friends, I just had a meeting with the Prime Minister where I laid out some of our priorities. I wanted to be clear that I respect that Canadians want us to be able to make Parliament work for people. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that we fight to deliver on some of the commitments that we made and some of the things that Canadians want to see us do. And that means investing in our healthcare, a universal, publicly delivered Pharmacare for all, but it also means a national dental care program. These are some of the things I highlighted as priorities for Canadians. I also want to see some real concrete action on fighting the climate crisis and also creating jobs while we do it so that people aren't left behind. And I want to see some real commitment to justice for First Nations and Indigenous people, and that means immediately dropping the appeal of First Nations kids who were discriminated against. And I've called on Mr. Trudeau to drop the appeal against that, the Human Rights Tribunal decision. There's a lot that we can do. Looking forward to working together. I'm prepared to work together, but I'm also prepared to fight hard if the government's not willing to deliver what Canadians need.
So earlier today, Jagmeet Singh met with Justin Trudeau to help find some common priorities for the upcoming Parliament. Justin Trudeau all this week has been meeting with the opposition leaders. He's met with Scheer, he's met with Blanchet, he just met with Singh to try to find common ground going into the next Parliament, because this is a minority government. And while the Liberal position in this minority is fairly strong, they have a big lead over second place, two parties alone cannot equal more than the Liberal seats, he still does need to find partnerships on his policies to make this government work. That's just the reality of a minority government. On any particular issue, he needs at least the NDP or Bloc or Conservatives to work with him. And Jagmeet Singh has made it very clear that while he's not going to give the Liberal government a rubber stamp, he's not just simply going to support the Liberals to support them. He is willing to work with them to implement the progressive policies that Canadians voted for in this election. Singh is there first and foremost to represent the voters that voted for the NDP and the vision they're trying to bring to Canada. A vision on dental care, pharmacare, fighting for Indigenous people, fighting for workers, fighting for our communities. These sorts of policies which are incredibly important and that Singh has championed more than anybody else. That is absolutely vital, and you're going to see that from Jagmeet Singh. But it has to be made very clear that the policies that the NDP ran on in this election are not just popular with NDPers. They are popular with a majority of Canadians, a vast majority in some cases. And if we look at polling from Abacus, recent polling done after the election, what we see is that the NDP's policies are especially popular with people who voted Liberal. That the Liberal Party's voting base, almost half of whom considered strategy in their vote, largely support Jagmeet Singh's broad plan for Canada. So in essence, what Jagmeet Singh is there to do is not only represent the people who voted for the NDP, but actually ensure that Justin Trudeau is loyal to the people who gave the Liberal Party, the Liberal candidates, Justin Trudeau, their vote in this election, either out of strategy or because they felt the Liberals could develop and deliver a progressive platform. What we've seen thus far, unfortunately, is that Justin Trudeau seems most willing to work with Andrew Scheer on pipelines and on tax cuts that overwhelmingly benefit the upper middle class instead of the very, very poorest. And that's unfortunate because Justin Trudeau's voters do not support Conservatives. Justin Trudeau's voters wanted above all to see cooperation with the NDP and only the NDP. That's what they wanted to see, on average. And so Jagmeet Singh is willing to offer that. So Justin Trudeau needs to work with Jagmeet Singh on progressive policy. Again, in this minority parliament, day to day, the NDP is not required for the Liberals to keep their power. They could, for instance, work with the Bloc or the Conservatives to get legislation passed. But if they want to pass something bold that helps all Canadians, not just in Quebec, but coast to coast, the NDP is the partner of choice. If the Liberals want to get dental care done, the NDP is there to work with them. If they want to get Pharmacare done, universal Pharmacare, the NDP is there to work with them. If the Liberals want to tax the rich through a wealth tax, the NDP is there for them. If they want to give meaningful reconciliation to Indigenous people, the NDP is there for them. If they want to fight for the end of student loan interest and federal student loans, the NDP is there for them. If they want to build 500,000 affordable housing units, the NDP is there for them. And on those issues and on so many other issues, which the Liberal Party voting base supports overwhelmingly, Jagmeet Singh is willing to work with Justin Trudeau. Again, that's not a rubber stamp for Justin Trudeau's actions. That's not the NDP saying that no matter what, they're going to support the Trudeau Liberals. The Trudeau Liberals have to earn the support of Jagmeet Singh by supporting the progressive policies that Liberal voters and NDP voters voted for in this election and want to see as a result of Liberal NDP cooperation. And this is a crucial test for Justin Trudeau, and it's a crucial test for what his values actually are. Because people are right. The media today was suggesting that Trudeau doesn't need Singh to survive in his government. But if he doesn't use Singh, it's going to be off a reliance on either support from the Conservatives and right-wing policies, or the Bloc, which will overwhelmingly deal with issues that matter kind of more centrically on Quebec, which may be progressive in some cases, but as we've seen from the Bloc, could be rather regressive in terms of the rights of minorities, especially religious minorities. Justin Trudeau, then, if he's willing to exclude the NDP, will have to move in a conservative direction. But Justin Trudeau still ran in 2019 on an image of being a pragmatic and principled progressive who believes in progressive values and wants to move Canada in the forward direction and in a leftward direction. Maybe not as far left as the NDP, but he wants to move Canada in a leftward forward direction. And now he has the opportunity to cooperate with the NDP to make that happen. But if he chooses not to do that, then I think this is going to be trouble for Justin Trudeau. Again, upwards of 43% of Liberal voters gave their votes to the Liberals because they were considering strategy, because they were in part at least ABC voters. Now, those votes are not loyal votes to the Liberals. They voted for the Liberals to stop Conservatives, but also because they hoped for cooperation with the NDP in a minority government. If Justin Trudeau took those votes and yet spends all of his time cooperating with Andrew Scheer on pipelines and tax cuts, those voters are going to rightfully feel betrayed. And a lot of those people will look to Jagmeet Singh as the only leader running coast to coast to coast who's actually offering progressive policies that appeal to NDP voters and Liberal voters and Green voters. But if we're being honest, on many of these policies, even a good chunk of Conservatives like them. A majority of Conservatives support a wealth tax, just as an instance. The NDP here is in a pretty interesting position. Day to day, Jagmeet Singh's caucus is not big enough to actually threaten the existence of the Trudeau government. But if Trudeau is willing to work with Jagmeet Singh, those two parties together equal well over 170 and can build a stable partnership on progressive policy. But if Trudeau doesn't work with Jagmeet Singh, he has the ability to go to Canadians and say to them frankly, that despite my best efforts to work with Justin Trudeau to build Pharmacare, dental care, ending the interest on student loans, fighting for indigenous people, building a Green New Deal, building affordable housing, Justin Trudeau has been unwilling to cooperate with me. As Jagmeet Singh noted, Justin Trudeau in this parliament, though it's a minority, he has a lot of power and a lot of choice. He can choose to work with Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives, or he can choose to work with Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. I know that Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party elite would rather work with Andrew Scheer because ideologically they are both parties of the 1%. But I know that the vast majority of Liberal voters don't want to see that. They want to see Justin Trudeau held accountable by progressive policies on offer by Jagmeet Singh. And I think Singh is going to have the conviction to do just that.